my friends, and welcome back to Ration Nerd. You know what's really epic? I'm here, you're here, we are here, and that's kind of really cool that you would decide to spend some of your precious time with this fucking asshat doing this crazy ass hobby. And today we are getting into a British single meal ration, and this one is just a wee special because most of the British rations that we're able to source over here in the United States do not include the flameless ration heaters or heating kits, which makes this a little bit special. Not super rare, not absolutely crazy, but it ought to be a good time. British rations are pretty bitchin', and if you like a really good time, you know what you could do for this guy right here? You could absolutely hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and talk to me in the chat. It's always a great time to hear from you guys. And before we get too far down this particular rabbit hole, I'm going to let you know that this month I'm giving away one of the C-Car rations that I got are the last pre-production run before they went into official production. This is a trial menu still. This is menu number 3. Beef stew, it's a C-Car. It cost me a metric shit ton of money. I probably got robbed, but it's okay. This is the last run of these before they went into official production. So this should have went out into the field for a trial with a U.S. soldier. It totally didn't. I got my dirty little mitts on them, and now you have an opportunity to get your dirty little mitts on one. How do you do that, might you ask? Well, let me tell you, you go to Patreon and you join Patreon for $5 a month. You're entered into the ration giveaway every single month where I give a ration away to my Patreon members, but you got to support me there if you want a chance. This month, this C-Car ration, which is actually a pre-production sample, could be yours, but only if you're a Patreon member. And with all that bullshit out of the way, let's get into menu number 9, property of the Ministry of Defense. Sorry, fuckers, fight me. Like, what are you going to do? It's over here. Are you going to come get me? Probably not. Anyway, never know. Somebody from MI6 is going to show up at my front door and fucking cap me like 007. That would really suck. Anyway, let's crack into this. There's no bag. There's no knife action necessary because we've got this nice Ziploc bag, which is actually kind of cool. I like it and don't like it. I don't like it because somebody could put their dirty dick beaters in your ration and swap out some menu items, and you'd never know because this is completely resealable. See that? Sealed, open, sealed, open. I know, you're not retarded. You didn't need to see that, but it felt kind of good to do it. So let's see what is on the menu. I did not read the contents list because I kind of want to be excited. I know what the main course in this ration is only because when I bought it for the main course, but let's see what else we get in this ration. We got some nibs, pesto mini breadsticks. I've had the nibs before. The breadsticks are kind of plain but yummy. Maybe the pesto is going to change my mind. And we've got an oatmeal block sweet oat biscuit made with whole grain oats. Goddamn yummy. Can't wait. This one is actually still good until 2027. Look at that. We are actually eating food that hasn't expired yet here on the channel. I'm not saying that's a first, but I am saying it doesn't happen all the time. We eat a lot of expired shit here. We've got some salted nuts. Everybody likes their nuts and everybody likes them salty unless you're weird. Salted peanuts are amazing. That's 25 grams. That ought to be yummy as hell. And we've got our main coming in at 300 grams. That's some chicken casserole with pasta shells. Sounds kind of basic. I can be a basic bitch every once in a while. It's not all gourmet. It's just food. Hopefully, this is good food. Then we've got like one of my favorite British ration items ever, which is the flapjack. Don't know why in the hell they call it a flapjack. Doesn't matter to me. It's a big-ass, soft, chewy granola bar. This one happens to be cherry and coconut, which absolutely gets me rock hard. Can't wait to sink my big fat chompers into that. So we have this really awesome 55-gram flapjack. And the only thing I'm upset about is I didn't get the big version. The big version is way better and gets me much harder. So I guess we're just going to have to deal with the little guy. But for it being a single meal, you don't get the big one. You just get the little baby one. I'm just a bitch, and I really wanted the big fucker because they're yummy, and I just can't get enough of them. And we have a tube of that undeniably excellent Andros strawberry jam. I don't think I've ever had a single flavor of Andros jam that I did not like, and it's quality stuff. I'm not really sure if it's the best jam on the planet. It's probably one of the better jams you're going to get in a ration, bar none. It's always good. That looks like it's going to go right on that oatmeal biscuit. That ought to be awesome sauce. And last but not least, we have an accessory kit. That's fucking amazing. And that is everybody out of the bag. So let's go through this accessory slash, I don't know, drink kit. So we have our British face bucket, which is the mini bucket, not to be confused with the original British face bucket, which I just happen to have over here. As you can see, this one could probably double as like an entrenching tool. This one looks like it's mostly for eating. I think those sparky bits being on such a crazy angle to the front of the spoon is kind of a moot point, but you tell me. You're not going to spear much with those sporky bits. I don't think they're necessary. They should just turn that into a regular old spoon. But I do like me a good British ration spoon. I am kind of partial to the fucking face bucket, even though it's really hard to eat with. I mean, this thing, you could like sling some rocks across the battlefield and kill your enemies. This is badass. Turn it into a prison shank, you know. See, and this is why I love my British brothers and sisters over there in the Ministry of Defense. These are some pretty excellent alcohol-free antibacterial wipes. They are good to wipe your face. They are good to wipe your nose. They are good to wipe your butt. They're even good to wipe your even more sensitive bits. So these are awesome. The fact that you get 2 of them with a single meal, that's keeping it clean. I'm absolutely loving these big-ass alcohol-free antibacterial wipes. And we have a flameless ration heater. We will put that to the test. Honestly, this looks like a much larger version of the US flameless ration heater. I hope they didn't screw the pooch and somehow get in bed with the manufacturer that makes the FRHs for the United States. That would really suck. But we have a flameless ration heater to heat up that chicken casserole. See, that is what the absolute fuck I am talking about. Look at all these drinks. This is a single meal ration that is absolutely banging. We have fortified peach iced tea, flavored drink powder, sugar and dextrose. That's cool. It's not maltodextrin, which will give you heart palpitations, but we have a 1 drink sack of 45 grams of peach drink powder. We have another peach iced tea, fortified energy drink powder. We have a 3-in-1 instant tea, absolutely awesome. And we have a 3-in-1 motherfucking instant coffee, which is absolutely amazing. To get 1 really large and in charge peach iced tea, a 3-in-1 instant tea, which I'm really jazzed about, even though I don't like cream in my tea, this is really fucking good. And the 3-in-1 coffee is generally pretty banging. That's fucking hydration right there. Doing it right with the butt wipe and the hydration items, absolutely epic. And you get a whole pack of tissues, super keeping it clean. Wipe your face, wipe your nose, wipe your butt, maybe even wipe your friend's butt if you go like that. And if you do, no judgment. It's 2026. People are into all kinds of weird shit. Wiping somebody else's ass probably isn't the strangest thing I've ever heard people be into, but having a pack of 10 excellent tissues in your ration is fucking amazing, especially when you combine that with 2 moist towelettes, which are very large and very usable. Awesome sauce. And we have 3 pieces, actually 3 packs, 6 pieces of sugar-free chewing gum with sweeteners. This is probably extra mint. This is the mouth-burny kind. I'll chew on a piece of it just for laughs. But you know what? You have 6 pieces of gum in a single meal ration. That's fucking epic. I mean, I don't care who you are. The British are definitely doing it right with their single meal planning. I mean, check it out. 300 grams of normal food, good source of protein, and will keep you full for a long time, getting some peanuts in you, little bit of biscuit and jam action going on, hella drinks, some pesto breadsticks to munch on, coconut and cherry flapjack for dessert, and a way to clean up not only just your face with just having a little napkin. No. When this inevitably makes you shit, which it will because all food does if you're a human being, you have a way to clean yourself up, which is pretty fucking important, because if you're walking around with a stinky ass as a soldier, eventually it's going to get itchy and nasty and disgusting, and you're not going to be very happy. Just because you're a soldier doesn't mean you can't have the basics of, like, your ass being relatively clean. And did I happen to mention this really thick, really nice Ziploc bag that contains all your other ingredients? I always hold on to these because they're fucking useful. All right, well, after that blathering diatribe, can you tell I've missed you guys? Did you miss me? I totally missed you. This is everything included in the British single meal ration that we're going to get into today. I'm going to get this all out on a tray, and I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. You already know what's out on the tray, so let's get to it. Let's get this main heating up in the flameless ration heater. If worse comes to worse, we will have to revert to like a techno boil or something like that. So where is our tear notch? It should be up here by this neat little resealable tape they have on there. Let's see how my tear skills are doing today. Pretty damn good, if I may say so myself. And then it's actually glued to the inside of the bag, which is pretty cool. It'll keep it still for you, so let's go ahead and get our casserole tucked down in there. And it says fill to this line only, so no measuring needed. And a little bit of that Nature's Life juice goes in there. And that is it. So we're going to seal this fucker right up with this resealable tape. And we will see how this FRH does. That's already pretty blazing hot on the back. So I am going to set something down to insulate that heater. And now we got to get to making up these drinks. And thankfully, we have some relatively immediate action right here. That is good looking. It's nice and poofy. It's not going crazy, but I can actually see boiling water in the bottom of the bag, which is absolutely epic. So at least we might have some nice hot chicken casserole. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, so I did leave the ration dungeon to go get me some nice hot ass water. And this flameless ration heater has been steaming the entire time. That thing is cooking. It's also like making a complete mess out of the other shit I have sitting over here. That is really hot. Bag is still poofy after about somewhere between 6 and 8 minutes of being away from the table. Still steaming, still going. Now we're going to start with, the coffee. It might be dinner time here in Ration Nerd Land, but we are still going to bang out a really nice hot cup of 3-in-1 coffee. I've had this before. I'm expecting that it will be just as yummy as the last time that I had it, but let's give that 3-in-1 a sniff. That smells fucking great. I can't wait. And yes, I am a little tuned up today, but you know what? You're just going to have to deal with it. We got that 3-in-1 tea, which I'm actually really excited about. Instant tea with creamer and sugar. I'm all about it. And that fortified peach iced tea, pretty awesome. This says to mix with 500 mils of water. Honestly, I don't need to do 2 of them. I'm going to save the other one for the ration giveaways. I like sending shit out to my Patreon members. Well, because I like sharing, and also because it's kind of fun when you send stuff out to people that wouldn't otherwise have a chance to try the stuff, and then they try it, and you can actually talk to them about what they thought about a particular ration item. It's kind of fun. And we shall start with the cold side of the house. It is not first thing in the morning. I am perfectly coffeeed today. I have not, however, had any food, just my coffee bucket in the morning, so I'm starving Marvin. This ought to be a really good time. So let's get some of Nature's Life juice. Have I ever mentioned how positive of an experience it is to be completely hydrated and how you should try it? I probably have somewhere in the back of my mind. I think I have said that once or twice on this channel, but if I haven't, let me tell you about hydration. If you hydrate yourself, you'll be more like a rock star, you will be a better person, you will be more godlike, and it will make you absolutely rock hard, because if you're not hydrated, your man will be all like, womp, 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 womp. So, drink. It's really goddamn good for you. And if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm doing a single meal ration. It'll still probably be a 40-minute video because I like to ramble a bit, and it gives me a chance to talk about shit I wouldn't normally otherwise talk about when I'm trying to do a 24-hour review and keep it down to like a 1-hour time frame if I possibly can, which is really hard for me because I like to run off at the mouth. But I have some really cool supporters out there, and I actually have a nice, shiny new canteen cup because of Terry, and he's a badass dude. Thank you, Terry. I really appreciate that. Now, I have one for water, which will now be booger-free, as Terry says, because there is a booger, or not really a booger, but some burn marks in this canteen cup that I've never been able to get out. And honestly, if it wasn't for my interactions with a lot of my supporters, Patreon members, YouTube members, and just people that like to comment on my videos and chit-chat with me, this shit wouldn't be worth it. Because let me tell you, there's no Big Daddy Warbucks going on over here. YouTube is not paying me a shit ton of money. I'm just doing this for the absolute love and enjoyment of doing it and entertaining other people. And if you don't like my content, go fucking watch something else, because I'm not going to change. You can tell me, do this, do that, and you know what my answer is going to be? Yeah, that's nice. Go watch something else, because this is my channel. I'm going to keep doing it how I do it, and if you like it, well, then you keep coming along on this crazy ride with me. That's how we roll here on Ration Nerd. Clean canteen cup and everything. All right, let's start getting the rest of this stuff out on the tray while we're giving that a last minute or two to heat up. That thing is still roaring hot. That was a great FRH. U.S. military, please take note of that. Soldiers might actually like to have a hot fucking meal every once in a while. Maybe we spend so much money, bajillions of dollars on everything else, maybe we could give our soldiers a nice hot meal. They kind of deserve that shit. Maybe you should observe what I'm taking out of this ration right here. This ration doesn't weigh that much more than an MRE, but you know what? It's a hell of a lot better. And we get those assaulted nuts. Why is there a tear notch on one side and not the other? We're not going to bitch about that. We're just going to comment on it. Assaulted peanuts. And we're gonna get that flapjack out. I almost want to keep it in the package because quite honestly, when I take this thing out of the package, I immediately want to fucking devour it. These things are so good. And it being cherry coconut, I'm looking forward to this thing. I'm gonna try to keep it all in one piece if at all possible. My gorilla hands can actually get it out of there without like Hulk smashing it. Ooh, look at that nice clean extraction. And the nibs. And we commence with the stirring. We'll get that. So before we proceed to get the main out, let's get a sip of this 3-in-1 coffee. It looks nice and creamy. Let's give that a sniff. And it honestly smells just like a 3-in-1 Nescafe, which I'm completely okay with. 3-in-1 Nescafe is pretty decent. Let's give it a try. And that's pretty good. Not extraordinarily strong, not very bitter. It is very creamy, mildly sweet, which is really nice. The coffee flavor is not super strong, but it's still really good. A damn good 3-in-1 coffee mix. Well, let's roll right in to this 3-in-1 cream and sugar tea. Man, I don't know what is up with the 3-in-1 tea they put in British Rations, but damn, it is good. Really nice tea flavor. The cream isn't overbearing, as you can see by the color difference, because there is a pretty extreme color difference between the coffee and the tea. And that's quite all right, because this is really good. Only mildly sweet, which is epic. Nice and creamy, nice strong tea flavor. Oddly enough, this tastes way more like tea than that tastes like coffee. It's okay, but I really enjoy this 3-in-1 tea. Funny thing is, in real life, I will never put cream in tea when I'm drinking it. I know some people will be shocked and appalled by that, but we all have different ways of doing things. But this powdered 3-in-1 tea is fucking amazing. I could drink that all the time, and I'm not a super big tea guy. Let's rescue this main out of this small little hell we have put it in over here. All hot and wet and soupy and nasty. And you know what? That FRH still has some life in it. I'm not saying I could heat up a whole nother main, but that FRH, I certainly could have put something on the other side of that FRH and warmed the hell out of it. Ooh, that's actually, I mean, it's almost, yeah, it's too hot to hold, especially on the back, the part that was laying right up against the FRH. That ought to make for a nice hot meal. Let's get this out on the tray. See what chicken casserole is going to do for us this evening. Ooh, that looks ooey and gooey. Check that out inside the bag. That's like super ooey and gooey, and hopefully the camera is picking up the steam coming off of that main, which proves the point that that FRH was rocking out with the proverbial cock out. So let's get that out on the tray. See what chicken casserole is bringing to my dinner face. Ooh, that kind of came out of there in one big lump right there at the end. Nice clean sweep. That would almost be, in poop terms, what we would call an NWP, or a no wiper poopy, which means the poop just kind of comes out and you don't have to wipe afterward, which is pretty awesome. You only get those every once in a blue moon, like during certain planetary alignments, but when you do get one, it's like a fucking special occasion. I don't know about you, but I'm always really jolly about it. Let's get this broken up. There's lots of chicken in there. Neato. Little shells. Ooh, we got some carrots going on. That looks good. We've got some seasoning going on in there. We've got some lentils thrown in there for some extra protein action. That's pretty cool. Little bit of onions in there. Nice. The lentils are kind of a neat little addition. A little bit of flavor, bit of extra protein, and some gas for the boys. You got to fart all over the boys when you're in your trench or in your infantry fighting vehicle or whatever the hell you're doing. Farts are fun. Don't care who you are. This is looking pretty good. I'm pretty hungry. The only thing that I don't see in this ration, and there's not much I don't see, is maybe some salt and pepper. Let's see if the main needs it. I always like to put black pepper on everything, but let's just check it out. Let me bring this up so you guys can see the first bite going in my face. Look at that big old hunk of like stringy, slow cooked chicken on there. Check that out. It actually looks pretty good. It almost looks like I don't know, like a tuna helper or something like that with shells. Let's get that in the face. You know, and I'm going to be honest with you, it's chicken, not tuna. But if you ever had tuna helper over here in the United States, you know what I'm talking about. That kind of reminds you of a chicken version of tuna helper, which I'm not even upset about. I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, we ate a lot of stuff like tuna helper or hamburger helper. And I loved it when I was a kid. I don't know how I grew out of tuna as I got older, but I just did. But this stuff is actually pretty yummy. Almost like a little bit of reminder of my childhood, which isn't even a bad thing. Let's get one of those big old carrots in there. Those are some pretty large and in charge slices of carrots. I'm liking that. You know, for being a really really simple main. This is pretty damn yummy. I mean, it's got a lot of carbs in it. You're going to need that if you're hoofing it, doing soldier stuff. Good bit of protein, lots of chicken in here. It might be finely shredded, but it's everywhere. Throwing the lentils in there was a good idea. Just a little bit of extra protein boost. That's actually a really good main. I would love some black pepper to go with it. No salt is necessary. Some black pepper would be rocking, but honestly, I have zero complaints about this ration. This is well put together, well thought out. The soldier has a lot of things to do, a lot of things to eat, ways to clean themselves, keep your face whole from stanking, and a whole lot of drinks, which is absolutely awesome. This is actually really great. Maybe I'm just in a great mood today or something. This is really just tickling my ration ass. It's just great. Nice chew to that chicken. Noodles aren't extremely mushy, which is always great. It has a really nice flavor. I'm liking it. And 300 grams of pasta and chicken is definitely going to help fill the belly, along with those peanuts and that flapjack. Can't wait for that. It has a teeny tiny little hint of like almost tomato sauce. That's all been sucked up by the noodles, but it's not really a problem. It's ooey and gooey, almost like it's cheesy. It doesn't really have a cheese flavor, but it's got this ooey gooey thing going on in between the noodles, which is pretty amazing. The carrots actually have their own flavor, which is really awesome. This is a pretty high quality main, in my opinion, even for being simple basic food. Let's check out these pesto nib nibs. Let's bring a handful of those up to you guys so you can check out some nib nibs with your own eyeballs. And those are essentially like little toasty bread pieces or just like some savory crackers. Let's pop them in the face and see what pesto is bringing to nib nibs. Those are actually really yummy. I like those much better than the plain nib nibs I've had before. These are great. They have a little bit of a background pesto flavor. It's not real upfront and completely in your face, which is kind of nice. The nib or nib nib itself really does have a bread texture on the interior, a dried bread, almost like a crouton. Nice and crunchy on the outside, a little bit soft on the inside. Soft is a relative term. Nice pesto flavor, nice crunch. I can see a handful of those going in with that chicken casserole. This was a really good combo with this particular main. And I definitely want to keep eating this before it loses any temperature. And let's give a couple of these nibs their day in court to go along with some of this chicken casserole. I can already tell you this is going to be a win, but because science, we've got to actually try it. So nibs on the chicken casserole. What the hell? Mistakes were absolutely made, let me tell you. I really should have put these fucking nibs right on top of that chicken casserole from the very beginning, because that is an absolutely great flavor combo. A little bit of crunchiness of these nibs with the chicken casserole is absolutely banging. So what I'm going to do is try to correct that mistake by taking what nibs I have left, spreading out my chicken casserole as thin as I can get it without smashing it. And then we're going to take these and we're just going to smash them up a wee bit. And we're going to make a crunchy little topping for our chicken casserole because. And it looks like 2 of the nibs actually survived the fisticuffs, but that is all right. Now we've got a nice crunchy pesto breadcrumb topping for our chicken casserole. This is like eating gourmet style. Oh, that's absolutely the way to do it. If you get this menu, you get the chicken casserole and you get the pesto nibs with it, you would absolutely be a fool if you did not crunch up these nibs and put it on top of your chicken casserole. That's a match made in ration heaven right there. That is approved by the ration gods. Their seal of approval is definitely on that bite all fucking day. That is really good. But I'm really jolly. Really happy that I chose this menu to do with you guys. This is really fucking yummy. This is just really enjoyable. The flavor combination of that chicken casserole and those pesto nib nibs, and yes, I'm going to keep calling them nib nibs. I don't care how stupid it sounds. It's fucking amazing. Well, let's wrap this main up because it is just dying to be eaten. And there it is, everybody. That is the last big ass bite of chicken casserole with nib nibs crunched up in one big, like, whole son of a bitch, just hanging out on the top of it. That is definitely going straight in my face. And this is a fuck yes chicken casserole spoon drop. I don't know what else to say other than fuck yes. All right, let's clean up that palate with some of this fortified peach iced tea. I might be a little thirsty, but that's actually a really good drink. It's a little bit on the artificial tasting side. That's okay. It kind of reminds you of a Brisk peach iced tea over here in the United States. Brisk is not a description. It's actually a brand. But that is absolutely perfectly drinkable, even with a little bit of that artificial flavor going on. It's cold. It's wet. It's iced tea. It's peachy. It's fucking yummy. And you get 2 of them, which is amazing for a single meal ration. That is absolutely awesome. Hats off to Great Britain for having excellent drinks. We're going to put down some of this coffee and tea, and then we're going to move on to oat biscuits and get to that yummy motherfucker right over there. And I'm absolutely saving that for last. That is the piece of resistance, as they say. I'm going to get a little piece, or try to get a little piece. Let's bring that up for your dirty little eyeballs to get a cross section on that yummy ass biscuit. So let's go ahead and get a bite of that. You can actually feel the shortening content with the biscuit. Like as you touch it, you can feel the shortening on your hands. That's great simply because soldiers need fat, because that is long-term energy. And that is not a biscuit. That is a fucking cookie. And I'm all about it. It's super sweet. It's absolutely great. We're going to take this really sweet cookie and we're going to see exactly how much Andros jam we can pack on this son of a bitch and get it in my face. Because this Andros jam is amazing. We'll do a little jam review on the front end if you haven't seen me before or seen me eat Andros jam and kind of geek out about it. That is a nice looking pile of jam there. I'm also reducing the possibility of me pouring it down my shirt while trying to eat that biscuit. So check that jam out. Nice and red. Let's get it in the face. And that is sweet. Has a great strawberry flavor. Damn, it really does taste like natural strawberries. Obviously extremely sweet because it's a jam, but damn, this stuff is good. Great natural strawberry flavor, does not taste artificial in any way, shape, or form. I always hate it when I get a ration where the jam, the Andros jam, has been smashed. I think we've seen that a couple times on this channel, and it always just breaks my little heart because I love the Andros jam no matter what flavor I get. I really, really dig the plum jam as well. Abso-fucking-lutely. This stuff is amazing. I'm going to wear some of it, but you know what? That's just the consequences of love. Sometimes when you love, you're going to get love juice on you, and that's just the way it rolls. And I happen to love this jam, so it's probably going to go on me. So that is a hot fucking mess. We're going to try to put that in our face hole without making too much of a mess. Here goes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That went right down my goatee. That's awesome. I'm just going to leave it hanging there. Maybe I'll go upstairs after the review and give Mrs. Rationerd a little kiss and she'll get a little bit of strawberry action. Absolutely. This combination is a little on the sweet side, but that oat and multigrain biscuit is banging. Nice and crunchy. Nice and sweet. High fat content. That jam, it's just like natural strawberries and sugar mixed together. It's absolutely amazing. 100% highly recommended. Whew, that'll give you the beatus. We need to clean that palate out so we can get into some nuts. Never stood a chance. It was fucking yummy. Let's crack on to these nuts. These are just some salted peanuts. There's probably nothing spectacular about these. A decent, well-roasted salted peanut is always fucking good. So let's check those out. Get a close-up of my nuts. Well, they're not mine. Well, they are my nuts. I bought them. So yes, you just looked at my nuts in your face. Anyway, let's put my nuts in my face. And those are certainly not the highest quality roasted and salted peanuts I've ever had. They're not bad. If I were to give them like a A, B, C, D kind of grade, they're definitely a C. They're not a B. They're certainly not an A. They're kind of like a C. They pass. There are some pretty nasty salted roasted peanuts out there. This isn't one of them. They're kind of middle of the road. It's kind of like pizza. As long as it's above a certain quality, you really won't complain about it. Same thing with these. They're not the greatest salted roasted peanuts ever, but they're pretty damn good. And yes, I can put all my nuts in my mouth at the same time. And after having a mouthful of nuts, you know you're going to need a palate cleanser. Let's wreck this 3-in-1 sweet and creamy tea. And I hate to say this is absolute coffee blasphemy, but at this dinner table, I actually enjoyed the tea more than I did the coffee. It's not first thing in the morning, so my lips are no longer rented because I had my coffee bucket earlier. But that tea has a really great taste to it. The coffee, though it was okay, it was a little bit on the weak side for me. That tea, though, was an absolute win. Now that we have a nice clean palate, you know what fucking time it is? It's time to wash our hands. So we're going to go over here and we're going to grab one of these moist napkins so we can check one of these out together, because these are a really, really great ration addition. These are nice and strong. As you can see, a little stretchy, but that's okay. What would you expect? But these are moist. I mean, you could almost like take a bath with these. Maybe not completely, but honestly, you could probably wet these, wring them out, and use them again if you were really in a pinch. I have a fat stack of these in my get-home bag because I eat lots of rations and I always have some of these left over. I do send them out to some of my viewers sometimes, but you know what? These are great, handy items to have, and even if it were to dry out in that package, you could re-wet it and use it again and again and again. That is a great ration addition. Well done, Great Britain. Did you want to know what a tissue looks like? All right, I'm not going to review the tissues every single time. Needless to say, there's 10 tissues in this pack, and it's fucking amazing. And now we're going to get into this goddamn flapjack right here. Let's bring that up to you guys so you can see it with your dirty little eyeballs all nice and close. Pick up the oats, pick up the grains, pick up the texture. Oh shit, I just dropped that right on my nose. That was epic. Flapjack down, that's not really cool. I lost a bite, it hit the floor. I'm not going after it. But let's go ahead and break this damn thing in half, get a bite of it, and talk about it. God damn, these things are good. I can't wait to put this in my face. Oh, Or as I like to say, that is so good. Chewy, nice and sweet, soft. It's fucking amazing. All the grains have their own texture in there. Absolutely great. You can see that little line of cherry goo like running down there and running down the outside of it, kind of discoloring a little bit. Can't wait for that. Let's get that cherry bite together. If there was a way to have an orgasm with your mouth, I would have just done it. That cherry stripe on there, absolutely fucking amazing. Over on this side, it just kind of tastes like a normal, like unflavored flapjack, which in and of itself is chewy, oaty, sweet, and fucking yummy. The cherry stripe running through that thing, just makes my mouth want to skeet, skeet, skeet. I'm going to keep on eating this thing. Look at that thing. That is like the French tickler of granola. Fucking shit. That is like the French tickler of granola right there. It's absolutely amazing. It's making my mouth want to have the big O. And I'm going to get that cherry bit right in my face and chew it up and just sit here and touch myself for a little bit. And the only problem with that flapjack, it's just not fucking big enough. That is an amazing ration item. Absolutely love it. I wish every one of the rations they put one of those flapjacks in, they'd put the much longer version in there because it's so absolutely yummy. And as much as I hate to do it, I'm going to wash that taste out of my mouth so I get a good read on the gum, even though I know the gum is about to burn my face hole. All right, so here we go with some Face Fire Extra Mint. I call it Face Fire. It's not actually printed on the package, by the way. Well, I don't know. Maybe, because the last one I had was blue, and that's the one that really burnt my face and just tasted like menthol. Two relatively rectangular green chiclets. Let's throw that in the face. And that definitely has some menthol in it, but they did temper it down a little bit with the mint. If I had to name that myself, I'd call it Angry Mint is what I would definitely call it. I wouldn't call it Extra Mint. I would call it Angry Mint because that's really what it tastes like. Not nearly as bad as the blue flavor, whichever one that was. That's actually pretty decent. It's a little spicy, a little bit too mentholated for me, but it does start to die down relatively quickly. But it'll definitely clean up your stink hole and make it more presentable when you're speaking to other human beings. So you're not just blah, 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 and all your food stank in their face. At least they'll get a little bit of angry mint scent coming out of your face hole. So that gum is pretty good. This ration was rocking. Really love the way it was put together. I'll see you guys in the outro. So thank you guys for joining me here on Ration Nerd, where today we got into menu number 9. Single meal ration by the nation of Great Britain. Goddamn good eating. This was a lot of fun. The only thing this ration was actually missing was some salt and pepper. Otherwise, this is a complete fucking affair. You have everything you need to eat your food. You have a good way to heat it up. You have lots of drinks, lots of snack items, some really great sides. This thing is banging. 6 pieces of gum. That's pretty rockin'. This thing is put together really well, and I think we all should give Great Britain a round of applause for putting together such an excellent fucking single meal ration. This ration was 100% worth the cost of admission. I'm really happy I got into this today. It was an excellent meal, and it might just be because I was in a good mood today, or the fact that I just had a really great ration. This motherfucker rocked. This was a quality ration. I absolutely appreciate it. Great Britain, keep rocking on with some excellent rations. That was amazing. And if you like to be amazing, do you know what you could do for this guy right here? This guy? You could absolutely hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and talk to me in the chat. It's always a great time to hear from you guys. And speaking of great things, if you can find something cooler than this, menu number 9, which just happens to be property of the Ministry of Defense. Oops, sorry about that. You absolutely know what to do, and if you don't, I'm about to tell you. Eat 'em up.
Man, I gotta tell you guys something. Ration Nerd didn't really give me a script today and didn't really give me a topic of things to talk about, so I figured I would take a little time to share some things with you as I see them from the side of Sling Ration House. So, like, there's some really cool people out there that be supporting Ration Nerd, and honestly, it's those people, the positive interactions he be having, that keeps this channel going, because quite honestly, I don't think that he'd have kept doing it if it wasn't for, like, a whole bunch of you people out there there that are super supportive and like always with the kind words and like hanging out and having a good time, and he really be liking that shit. So I think if he told me what to say, he would say something like, hey guys, those of you that supporting the Ration Nerd, I love y'all. Y'all's is good people, and I ain't gonna blather on today. We're gonna do it kind of quick and dirty, so I'm gonna say this: love yourselves, love each other, and no wait, that was like Maury Povich or something. I ain't saying that shit. Love, peace, and ration grease, motherfuckers. It is the Sling Ration, and we're out for this week.